Hi guys, Brian from Anarchy Models here. Today we're going to be looking at one of our board making stencils, the number 17 Deadzone Battlegrid. As we can see, this is a very large stencil and it creates large squares for you to play Deadzone on. I'll just do a quick example here. So that's the size of the squares it makes there. But this is a bit too large to actually show you on camera exactly how it works. So what I've done is I've made a small version, and we'll use this one to show you actually how the stencil works. So again, this is just a demonstration version of this stencil. So the first thing we need to do is when the stencil arrives, it will be folded. So you need to open it up and make sure the tags are flat. Now on this stencil, you do not cut these tags. This is part of the design to allow it to fold and be stored. If you cut these tags, you won't be able to cover an area as quickly. So you make sure it's folded flat. We then need to tape over this line, as this is purely to allow the stencil to fold for storage. So we tape over the line, like so. So you would paint your game board whatever colour you want it to be. You could do it different colours and some textures and things. But we're just going to do it on paper now, just for a demonstration. So you place your stencil where you want it, and then it's a good idea to tape the stencil down. So I'm going to tape it top and bottom. This will help it stay put while we're spraying. And then to stop us getting paint around the edge of the stencil, I'm going to mask the area off. You could use just paper or cardboard or newspaper, whatever you've got lying around. Just line it up so that the edge of the stencil is covered, but you want to make sure you don't go over the line of the stencil, so that's no good because you're blocking the stencil off. And then we come in with whatever colour you paint that you want the lines to be, and just carefully go over the lines. You don't want to use too much paint, or it's going to make the stencil very wet and you'll get paint on your hands while you're working, which will then get transferred onto the game board. So that's the lines done. And it's a good idea before you move the stencil just to use the air, just to make sure the paint on the stencil is dry. And then we'll move our masks out of the way, and then move the stencil. So as we can see, we've got two blocks of squares. Again, this is just the demo version. If you're doing this with the big stencil, you can see it would cover a much larger area. So now we're going to move the stencil along one, so we'll do a block of squares here and here. And the trick to this is you use the edge of the stencil, you can fold it up like that, so you can see where the square edge is, and line that up with the previous square. So I think you can see on camera there just about, yeah. So line that up there, line it up at the bottom, and check it's lined up over here as well, which it is, and then use the tape to tape it in place again. You'll be careful not to move it while you're working. So let's put our masks back in place and spray it again. So you can see the grid's taken shape, and then you just keep repeating the stencil to get the board as big as you want it to be. So we'll start off down the bottom here, line the square up with the edge, over here, tape it down, Sometimes, as you can see, you might not have lined it up quite right, but you're going to get that when you repeat it again. It will fill it in for you. So let's do it again, making sure you line it up as best as you can. Remove the masks again. As we can see, got the squares all painted out, and again this looks like a small area here, but the actual stencil itself is huge, so you would cover quite a large area very quickly with this. And that's it. The number 19 also works in a similar way for doing your game boards. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.